All right, Ms. Simmons, looks like we have a number of cases for you today. Let me find them on my computer and we'll get started. Looks like the first is a bench warrant arraignment on front of the court file. It's file 14-15597-DP. And we also have a bench warrant arraignment in the matter of State of Michigan versus Tanya Simmons, 22-40558-FY-3. And then finally, a bench warrant arraignment, State of Michigan versus Tanya Simmons, file 21-39204-SD-3. Let me take the felony matter first, then we'll go to the misdemeanor and then the friend of the court matter. Ms. Simmons, in the felony file 40558-FY, it looks like you failed to make payments on your fines and costs and still owe $526. Court staff indicates to me that the last payment was $10 made in June of 2023. The misdemeanor file is a similar charge. It says that you failed to appear and failed to pay fines and costs in a total of $646, last paid $10 in June of 23. You understand the nature of the allegations made against you in those criminal files?
I believe so, because I haven't paid on the high court misdemeanor and the misdemeanor and then the child support.
Yep, we're going to get to the child support in just a minute, but I want to do the criminal cases first. So there's $526 due and owing on the felony matter. There's $646 due and owing on the misdemeanor matter. You have the right to plead responsible or not responsible, that is guilty or not guilty. You have the right to have a hearing. You have the right to have an attorney represent you at that hearing. At the hearing, you'd also have the right to present witnesses and evidence in your own behalf and get an order from the court called a subpoena to require those witnesses to appear. You could testify yourself or you could remain silent, and that silence could not be used against you. You would be presumed innocent until the probation department proved that you'd failed to make your payments in accordance with the court order. That would be by a preponderance of the evidence, and you would have the right to appeal. Do you understand all of those rights?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of those rights?
No.
Would you like to have an attorney represent you on these matters?
Please.
Mr. Brown, have you talked to her about right to an attorney?
I have, Your Honor. She would qualify. That information has been sent to the administrator. Well, I will just leave it at that, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Simmons, what I'm going to do in both of these criminal files is enter a not guilty plea on your behalf in order to protect your rights until you have an opportunity to speak with your attorney. Mr. Brown has indicated that he has sent that request to the administrator for court-appointed counsel, who will then appoint the specific attorney that's going to represent you, and I have approved that request. So what we're going to do next is decide what to do about bond. Let me see if there's, I don't believe anything's been set yet, is it?
The bond was set on the warrants themselves, but nothing's been set since she's been allowed.
Check that. Looks like bond has previously been set on the bench warrants in the felony file in the amount of $530, which covers the $526 due and owing, and it was set at $650 cash or surety in the misdemeanor file to cover the $646 due and owing. Mr. Brown, do you have any arguments as to bond?
The only argument I could really come up with, Your Honor, is she is going to try to look for work here. She is a local resident. That's really all I can say, and that's going to be up to the court's discretion.
Ms. Simmons, do you have any information for me that would change my mind and what to do on bond?
No, I just know the sooner I'd be able to get out, the sooner I'd be able to get a job and be able to pay my fines. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry.
When was the last time you were employed?
When I was working at the Quality Inn, between, I think it was the last time I worked was at the Quality Inn, working for Chris.
That doesn't tell me when.
Probably about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
How have you
And
been
then I
supporting yourself? I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
had a friend help support me, and then I was helping my daughter's dad with a side job where was able to come up with a little bit of cash to be able to get the stuff for myself that I needed as personal stuff.
So what was your plan to pay off your 2 court cases?
I need to get out there and get a job and get back involved in the community.
You've known that for the last year and a half.
I've just had a lot going on in the past year and a half. I don't know what else to say.
Well, why should I let you out now if you haven't paid anything in the last year and a half?
I understand what you're saying, but as long as I'm held in here, I ain't able to go out there and get a job to be able to pay on them.
So what skills do you have and what jobs do you think that you could get?
As soon as I can get out, I could probably go try up at McDonald's, and I know there are some other jobs that I could try to go for here in town that I can apply for as soon as possible.
Such as what? What have you done in the past? What skills do you have?
Housekeeping, KFC, cleaning.
You make it real difficult, Ms. Simmons, to let you out by simply
understand,
blowing
sir.
stuff off.
I shouldn't be blowing stuff off. I do know that the friend that I was living with was pretty upset with me because he wanted me to go in for unemployment. I set up an appointment for that, but I missed the unemployment, and then I set up an appointment with the doctor to be able to get the records to get the unemployment, but that wasn't until November.
So I assume you don't know when we next be able to schedule this. We could schedule it every other week or something like that, just to watch her.
Where is status conference?
Yeah.
In the next week or two, whenever you want, we can get on the docket.
I don't see it. Bond form, so I'm just gonna write it down.
Yeah, I didn't think we needed one for the forensic cost, sorry.
That's fine. All right, Ms. Simmons, as to both the felony and the misdemeanor file, I'm gonna reduce your bond to $650 PR in the misdemeanor case, $530 PR in the felony case, with the condition that you apply to work at 3 places each day until you find work, and you bring proof of your applications to court in approximately 2 weeks. We're gonna have the court set a status conference. Court staff's gonna set a status conference in both of those cases in approximately 2 weeks. And we're gonna see where you're at. I'm gonna need to see some hard work on your behalf to justify keeping you out of jail after that. And by that, I mean, I think you probably should have a job in the next 2 weeks and have a plan in place as to how much money you're gonna use and when I'm gonna get payment on those files. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, you also have a friend of the court bench warrant out for your arrest. This says that you failed to comply with the terms of a September 6, 2024 support enforcement order and failed to appear on November the 7th. There's a bond of $600 outstanding on that. I'm going to assume that all of the same answers that you previously gave me apply to this case as well. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Spalane is here from the friend of the court. Ms. Spalane, is there any updated information on her child support payments?
Right now, her support obligation is $472 a month plus $50 ordered on arrears. Her balance as of today is $5,905.03. Her payment history is concerning. The last payment received was back in June of 23 and the amount of $50. Previous to that, it was $100 in May of 23 and then $300 in May of 2022. She has 2 previous findings of contempt.
I understand the last time I talked to you, you said I need an attorney because I was thinking about signing off my rights, but I didn't want to sign off my rights. I know a friend of mine had explained to her dad a different piece of paper to come in there to fill out because he said he didn't want child support, but I know child support had to be paid because she was on state assistance.
Right. And knowing all that, you still haven't made a payment in a year and a half.
That's wrong on my behalf.
All I got to say is, wow.
It's done on my behalf. I see what he's struggling going through with mom and trying to support her, and that is done on my behalf.
Well, it appears to me that you do have the ability to work because you've told me that you're doing these side jobs for the other people that are basically supporting you. You're doing some work for them. You're just not out getting work. And as soon as I tell you you're going to stay in jail, now all of a sudden you've got this ability to work because you're going to go apply at McDonald's or other
No, I
fast food
seriously
restaurants.
want. I'm sorry. No, I
All I've
really
got
want
to
to
say
get a job.
is, go ahead and say that again so I make sure I hear it.
I really want to get a job and I really want to do better. And I've been dreading on a lot of things that happened in the past and I need to let it go.
I'm going to let you out under the same circumstances I let you out on the misdemeanor and criminal case, which is to do 3 applications per day until you find work. And that information has to go in the next 2 weeks to the friend of the court's office. And we'll set a review hearing in approximately 2 weeks to coincide with the criminal cases. So the friend of the court and the district court need to talk to each other about what's a good date to do that on. And then you're going to tell me why I shouldn't put you back in jail. And the best answer to that is because you've made payments. If I don't see payments, I got to tell you that there's little else that I can do at this point other than just put you in jail because you don't seem to want to be able to make payments, period. You can't just
I would
live your
like to
life
get out.
blowing
Thank you,
stuff
sir.
off your responsibilities. So the bond in this matter will be temporarily PR bond, $600, so it stays at the same amount, but we'll make it a PR bond. 3 apps per day. Reset for status. Hearing in 2 weeks. And all I've got to say is you better impress me. And I'm not impressed so far. And if I'm not impressed, it's very highly likely that you're going back to jail. All right, that's all for today, Ms. Simmons.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Ready for
Can we
Mr.
have-
Childs?
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Every time I see your name, I just think of soda.
Everyone's got to have a vice.
Mhm.